Welcome to the Path Monk Presents podcast. My name is Sean Donnelly Lewis, and on the show today we have Gijsbregt Vijn. He is the managing director at Lemon Scented Tea. I'm not making this up, lemonscentedtea.com. Guys, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Yeah, lemon scented tea. I'm assuming you're not selling any, you don't have a little stand outside of your house where you're selling tea that smells like lemon.
No, not at all. But a lot of Chinese suppliers of tea stuff actually are finding me because they think I'm selling tea. Now, we're an ad agency, a creative agency, and basically we compare the ancient ritual of making tea with building strong brands and creating great communication. The teapot with water resembles society, so the lives of the consumers. The tea bag resembles the core DNA of the brand, the story, the values. Together with the clients we work for, we put in what should be in the tea bag, and then we put the tea bag in the lives of the consumers, and then your flavor, scent, and color will infuse in the lives of consumers and in society. And lemon was a really fresh flavor, so we thought, let's call it lemon scented tea. But if we're opening New York, it will be apple scented tea, definitely.
Very cool. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's so funny. I actually got a book called The Book of Tea. It's like this all-time bestseller. Is this where the idea came from? Where'd you get the idea from?
Well, it's weird. We had another name, and the name used to be Dope Inc. And dope was here in the Netherlands a cool word. This is dope, and that's dope, and then we went to the US checking this name, or went to the US to show who we are, etc. Then I thought, okay, we're coming from Amsterdam, and our name is Dope Inc., Dope Incorporated. This is not cool. Everybody in America would say, what the hell are you weird guys from Amsterdam doing? So we were
selling drugs. You're selling drugs.
Exactly. That's not right. So we're sitting in that bar, and somebody comes up to us, a waitress, and he puts down the tea pot with everything, all different tea tastes in there. And one of the little bags was twinning lemon scented tea. So we said, yeah, we need to have this new name. What about this? Lemon scented tea. Well, why not? And then we, at that table, we're thinking, yeah, what are we doing here? And we're returning, actually, this is what we're doing. So at that moment, at the table, we were coming up with that great story. And we said, let's call it lemon scented tea. And now we're here.
All right. Amazing. I love it. So let's just come back to the company. Who do you guys work with? You're an agency. Talk about your clientele for a second.
Yeah, we have different clients. Basically, all clients we are really partnering up with. What we do, we add emotion in the full customer journey for them. Because if you have emotion in your brand, simply you build better relationships and you sell more. The different clients we have is, for example, Jägermeister. We work for them on a global level, and making an emotional association between Jägermeister and ice cold. Because when you drink a Jägermeister not ice cold, you're never going to drink one anymore. Even if you drink one, it's also maybe not likely you drink another, but that's another story. So we're working for a new hotel brand. Cannot disclose the name, but they're now building up a brand in Europe with different locations. And what we're doing for them, hardcore positioning, so the values, positioning statement. And then we go to the narrative. We build the story of the brand, and based on narrative, we create a creative concept that is drafted into the different stages of the customer journey. So social media, TV, online, but also we think about the guest experience, how you enter, the PR stories, the different activations we do, and then we build like a whole brand for our clients, and then together with our clients. That's how it works.
And so how have you been able to grow the business? Has it been digital marketing, inbound, SEO? Has it just been referrals? Which avenues have you guys used?
Yeah, a lot of avenues. Yes, referral is important. I think referral is one of the most important ones. And if you also look at how you get clients, then most clients also in the Netherlands, but also in Europe, ask other clients saying, who do you recommend? So referral is very important. What we also do is content marketing and doing a lot of workshops digitally now. So LinkedIn we use a lot, Instagram and Facebook. We did a lot of speeches. So we have our own way of working. It's called the brand hero approach, where we compare and use the ancient or the ritual of storytelling together with brand building. So we did a lot of speeches that worked, but now that's gone. So we're back to basically digital. And I think, and we do email programming. So we do a lot of emails. So
And
these are the elements we go to business.
what role does the website play in acquiring new clients?
A really, really big role, because this is like who we are and what we sell. The connection between social and website is very important to us. And we're actually now changing the website and making the proposition, as I said earlier, a little bit more tight and more strong. So this is actually happening now, and a small redesign will also take place. So yes, it's an important role. It's who we are. It's the core of what we do, and we're now trying to connect all the other social channels to the website, which is not the case yet.
Okay. And what would you say is some of the strengths of the website? I'm looking at it right now. It looks really, really great. Obviously, speaking for the brand, what are you particularly proud of?
I think the cases are the most important. We put work first, and in the future we're going to add a Lemon Academy section, because we have this fantastic approach that uses the universal storytelling structure. You know, every story consists of a hero. The hero has a goal: liberate a princess, find a treasure. Has the means that the hero is special, like Neo from The Matrix was the one, and Wiki the Viking is smart. And there's always an adversary. So we use that super strong storytelling structure to make narratives for brands. And we will add that to the website in the next stage. So I will also be proud on that part. Next to the cases, how do we think and what's our approach?
Very cool. And so thinking, just being critical for a second, if you were to improve the website, right, you're saying you're making some improvements, what would you like to see improved? The ability to convert the customers, or the leads, or the user experience? Where do you feel like if you could change it, it would just be that much better?
I would change that we use the questions and the needs and the wants from clients on the website. So we connect the SEO together with what we actually offer on the website. I think that will be a very good step. Now we're selling ourselves and saying this is who we are, this is what we do. But we would like to, we have solutions for your problems. So right. The next step would be thinking more from the client side of things and making sure we incorporate the right answers to the questions which are out there.
And coming back to the service you guys offer as an agency, just for everyone listening, what would you say separates you guys from other people that occupy the same space? What do you guys do just a little bit differently?
Yeah, I think there's one big thing we're doing differently is that we fully focus on emotion. So we have this storytelling approach, and now the best way to build emotion is a story. So we use that storytelling approach to really build emotion in the brand. So emotional click. So the creative we make is also something people should feel something with, and we have strongly believe that that's more effective than more information and more performance marketing. Yeah, performance is great, but first you have to have a emotional click somewhere to really optimize that click. Mm-hmm. And just optimizing information is going to lead to nowhere. So yeah, I think we're different in storytelling approach leads to full emotion in the customer journey. And that's what makes it different.
Very cool. And so I just want to pick your brain as a creative, as somebody who's in the marketing space. When I say the word innovation, what would you say is the biggest challenge to innovation?
This is my son. The biggest challenge to innovation, I think it's a beautiful question. Yeah, I think the biggest challenge of innovation is manifesting the potential of an innovation. Because innovating something is easy, but I can innovate my cup, but can I innovate all the cups around the world? And that is, I think, the biggest issue. So innovation is possible, but how do you change the old system to make the innovation also flourish? Mm-hmm. I think that is a very difficult one, and that needs a lot of people. in a lot of different layers, with a lot of different backgrounds, and people empowered to change the big structures, to make space for the small trees. We need to cut down the big ones, the old big ones. They cannot move anymore. We need a good wind so they crack, and then it's open. We get new ones, and there always are coming new ones. But giving them the space to grow, I think that's a challenge.
And so, just keeping with the same theme, when I say return on investment, ROI, what do you think for marketing is the biggest challenge for that?
I think the biggest challenge is that we're just too segmented, especially marketeers, marketing directors or CEOs, CMOs are like, oh, there's so much going on. There's so much going on. I need to go onto Clubhouse. I need to go into TikTok. I need to go, we're really, also what Mark Ritson said, social media is dead. It's now TV, or TV is dead. No, nothing is dying. Everything is sticking around, and new things are coming in, and they will get their place. But don't start with media. Don't start with new things. Start with the consumer and the main feelings of a consumer, the wishes and their needs, because that is not changing. We are really stable and static in this whole technological revolution. We're just people. So start there. And then secondly, what do you want to share to the world, as a marketeer? That's authentic. So you have an authentic purpose and what you like to share with the clients. And then you think from a consumer point of view, and then you come up with a story that is relevant for them and for you, a narrative. And then you start to think about, where can we reach these people, and how can we create a story? And we create stories one story that uses 10 different channels, because a great activation which leads to a great movie can go on TV, can go on social, can go on TikTok, can go on anywhere. So don't think about new things that you should be part of. Think about your authentic story and how you can make it relevant to people and to your customers. And I believe in stick with one agency or one partner and build it around that partnership, that close partnership. Because working with 20 agencies is going to cost you a lot of money, time, and it will never be truly coherent or consistent.
So if you could just focus on one thing for marketing, which to you is most important? The road mapping, growth initiatives, marketing messaging, reporting? Which one of those four do you think that to you is the one that's most important?
Can you repeat it again?
Yeah, road mapping, just the planning, right? The growth initiatives, marketing messaging, and reporting.
I think marketing messaging, and I think it's also a little bit our ball game.
Yeah.
I'm reading now this great book from Seth Godin, and he really talks about what is the exact message you're sharing, and what is your intention of sharing that message. And reading every word counts there, especially also when you look at social and you want people to click on something. What's that headline? Really think about what's the story and what's the actual copy you use and what's the visual you use, and then build that consistently. I think that's, in my opinion, the most important thing. And what I also truly believe, and that's maybe the connection to growth initiatives, if you have your story straight, I think it's important that you start developing new stuff, growth stuff, that fits who you are, but doing something different, maybe in a new market. So you stay fresh and new as a brand.
Just switching gears here for a second, I wouldn't mind talking about you as a leader. What kind of content do you consume to continue to grow and educate yourself?
Yeah, different elements. I'm a big fan of Tim Ferriss. He has his podcast. It's a fantastic podcast. It's about personal growth, about your fears, about your hopes, ambitions, but also about Bitcoin. And it's also, for example, a great interview with the CEO from Spotify, with Seinfeld. He did something, so I'm a big fan of him. So I'm listening to that podcast. We have here in the Netherlands, we have it's called Eindbazen. It's a cool name for the bosses. Also a little bit in the area of personal growth and management. And next to that, I'm reading, for example, Seth Godin, which is a really good book. I'm reading now also the Story Script. It's more about storytelling because it's, of course, my field of business. And I'm reading also a couple of more Zen Buddhism kind of books. For example, Tara Brach with Radical Acceptance. But also, what's my latest on that? Oh yeah, Perma Sodron. She also wrote a couple of really interesting books on gratefulness and on acceptance, but also personal growth. And so it's a combination of a little bit more hardcore stuff, hardcore marketing things, and personal growth. And together that brings basically my management style, which I use to build the agency and to help my people and also the clients, you know.
Very cool. We're slowly coming to the end of the episode, but before we end, I wouldn't mind having our doing rapid fire with you. This is just where I ask you questions and you answer them as quickly as possible. How's that sound?
Yeah, cool. Let's do it.
Okay. So what's the single thing that your company is focused on the moment the most?
The most, it's not rapid enough, but think about I think now it's get our story straight. Okay. And find the get our story straight and find the sweet spot between the issue of the client and our story.
If there were no boundaries in technology, none at all, what would be the one thing you want to have fixed for your company today?
Oh yeah, I would like to, well, that's a good thing. I would like to skip the boundary between client and agency. So okay. We're working in one space, working with almost one brain, working with, or different brains together in one digital brain. Also getting the data right, really connecting these different worlds, which should be different worlds.
What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about your company?
Profit and loss.
P&L. If you were to start over again at the company, what piece of advice would you give yourself?
Yeah, I would say dream big and stick to it. Without, even if people say it's ridiculous or it's not gonna work or no, dream big and stick to it no matter what people say.
All right, everyone, that was Gijs Vijn. You can check out all the work they're doing at lemonscentedtea.com. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. The last part of the show, we love to hear from you. So we just give you the last word. If you want to sum up everything that we talked about, or if you feel like there's something we forgot, I just want to give you the last word today. The floor is yours.
Cool, thank you. Well, I'm hoping that all people around the world, or business people around the world, can find a good mix between what they want to share to the world, their purpose, and what's relevant to consumers. And getting that story straight and becoming relevant, and also with ambition, your own ambition, I think that will help to make remarkable new brands. And I'd love to help you guys to do that. So let's go out there and make something cool.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Sean. And well, hopefully see you next time.